Welcome to another CEO Wisdom Pod. We have Sohin Shah with us today. He's the co-founder at InstaLend. InstaLend is a business that helps you grow your real estate business. So we're going to talk about his platform today. I know that Sohin has been building that one for almost 10 years now. He's also an advisor, New York University education, now Harvard since not so long ago. So altogether an interesting guy. Sohin, can you tell us a bit more about yourself and what you're up to nowadays?
Sure. So I'm the co-founder of InstaLend. I have been building this business, like you said, for about a decade now. It's an online business, so all our revenue is generated online. All our customers interact with us online, and we're now one of the fastest growing private businesses in the country, recognized about 3 times by Inc. 5000, and just last week we were recognized by Financial Times as one of the fastest growing private companies as well. Outside of that, I'm an investor in early stage companies, about 175 of those. I also advise a few. That's about me.
Right. And how did you get there? Why are you built that way is a question I like to ask founders.
I think in today's day and age, everything is digital. And so there's no need for us to have multiple locations, which has personnel or, employees where you have paper-based applications, etc. Everything's done digitally. So we recognized this trend about a decade ago, and we built the entire business to prepare ourselves for the same.
Right. My question was more like about you. Why did you build that business? Why are you built that way? Like, who is Sohin? What's his background like?
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, my background is in IT engineering, computer science. I have a dual engineering degree. My second engineering was in financial engineering. And so what I learned is building financial products, which could be automated using technology. And so, tried to apply some of the skill set I had towards a lot of different industries. And then, real estate seemed to be the best fit.
Yeah, real estate. So you're up in New York, right?
Correct, yes.
And yeah, real estate. I mean, there's a lot of tech in New York as well. Why is real estate still interesting? For example, me as a founder, serial founder, SaaS guy, agency guy, obviously ran businesses online since a decade.
Yeah.
Why would real estate still be interesting to me?
Real estate is very interesting because technology has not penetrated in the industry. If you still look at it, closings are done, paper-based closing. So you have to actually come and physically sign your closing paperwork. Title work is still pretty manual as well. Property appraisals also require an appraiser to go to the property. And these are just a few examples. So real estate has not digitized yet. It's going to be quite challenging to get there. But I think a lot of the new age entrepreneurs do recognize that it's ripe for disruption. And what's needed is good compliant practices to make sure that while technology can streamline a lot of the workflows, it doesn't compromise some of the checks and balances that we need to have.
Right. And precisely right now, how many clients does InstaLend have? You've been running that one for 10 years. And what do you charge your clients for?
Yeah, we have thousands of clients, and we charge them. In real estate, you charge a loan origination fee, which is what we charge our clients.
And what's that loan origination fee? And also that looks like regulated, right? Like, is this a standard fee, or do you decide upon that fee?
We're a non-bank lender, private lender. It's a non-regulated space, and the origination fee is typically decided by the lender. It's anywhere from 1% to 2% of the loan amount.
Right. And what are their alternatives? What can they decide other than at InstaLend? What is the options of the consumer?
A consumer can try and do the entire deal all cash, use their own money. They don't need to borrow from us or anyone else. Or they can borrow from a bank, but I think they'll find a lot of challenges there given the way banks operate. And so if either of those options don't work for them, they can come to a private lender like ourselves. And we've streamlined the entire process. We close within 10 to 14 days, and we're nationwide.
Right. And what kind of questions do you ask to vet them and make sure that they don't default?
Typically, we run a credit check on them, a soft credit check, and also a background check to make sure we're working with someone that has good financial credibility. We order an independent third-party appraisal as well, which has multiple values: the as-is value of the property, the as-repaired value if it's a fixer-up, the market rent schedule. We ensure that any client that's using our money to acquire or refinance a property is doing so using an entity like an LLC or a corporation. And we look at the LLC paperwork, and then we look at if it's a 30-year DSCR rental loan, we look at the bank statements to make sure they have financial liquidity as well to service the interest obligations.
And why the LLC?
I think for a number of reasons, but most importantly, it shields the clients from personal liability. If something were to go wrong with the property, the LLC or the corporation can serve as a shield to protecting them from liability.
Right. And on your side, you would just get the property, right? You would acquire the property alongside the interest that they already paid you. That's how you de-risk it, sort of.
I mean, we don't take the property, we put a lien on the property, which means if they do not pay us the loan that they've taken from us, we have the right to file for foreclosure on the property and then go through the court process if need be to take title to the property.
Right. And foreclosure, aren't these prices like quite low? Do you break even on your side if you foreclose the house, or do you actually make a profit?
I mean, the goal is to always make sure we get our money back. And just the way foreclosure works is we try to recover what we are owed. We don't try to make a profit on top. So whatever we're owed, we'll try and recover that from the foreclosure if we can.
And your interest rate, they're 2 to 3 times higher than a normal bank, right?
No, not really. I mean, look, we have multiple products. So for a fix and flip loan, the interest rate is around 11% annual. For a 30-year DSCR rental loan, which is a landlord loan, the interest rate is around 7%. It's not too far away from where the banks are.
Banks, aren't they like 3 to 5%? Isn't that the interest of banks?
I think you'll find them closer to 5.5, 6% maybe.
Okay, interesting. And you mentioned thousands of clients. So how did you get that funded initially? Because if it's many thousands of clients, that means that you've loaned out like, I don't know, like $100 million?
Yeah, we've lent a lot more than $100 million. We have partnerships on Wall Street with institutional investors as well to finance the loans.
Right. And what growth plan do you have for the company? Is it just about getting more funding and deploying more loans, having it at GTM side of things? Tell me about the growth plan for this year.
I think the growth plan this year is just to organically grow. That's how we're seeing a lot of our growth as well. Happy customers refer our business to potential new customers as well. And I believe we've been doing a good job servicing the business, so they feel incentivized to refer us.
Right, but they're not likely to reuse the service because most people, it's like one home in their whole lifetime, right? Or do they change houses every 10, 20 years?
Well, these are not houses that they live in personally, right? So these are investment properties. So many of our clients are doing 20, 50, 100 loans each year with us.
Right. And who are your competitors? Like, how do you distinguish yourself?
I mean, any nationwide lender, any private lender could serve as a competitor. The way we distinguish ourselves is, we have local market expertise and knowledge to make sure we're providing the right loan terms and underwriting the file correctly. We're very fast. We close within 10 to 14 days, like I said. So that helps a client move quick. And our interest rates and fees are also reasonable.
Right. And the funding side of the business, like, are you always actively raising, or do you have enough funds to just give out way more loans? What does your runway look like?
Yeah, we're not raising.
So you always have like a nice runway. You're always ready to hand out, I don't know, like 5, 10 loans a week or something like that?
Correct.
That's interesting. So yeah, okay. So let's say like a solid 20, 30, 50 million in the bank, always ready to be given out. Do you have AI in your full process?
Yes, we use a lot of AI.
How so? Yeah, this is...
It's more on the CRM side, so customer interactions, a lot of the communications we have, the processing work on document aggregation can involve AI features. Also, the CRM we use, has inbuilt plugins available, which further allows us to benefit from any AI features that are released.
Right, and that serves in the application form, I would guess. And the information that you get from the consumer, do you also enrich it from like other platforms because they might give you some information that is just not factual? So can AI be deployed at that level too?
We have different tools we use for document authentication and verification of the accuracy of data that's provided. I think we're getting there with AI, but AI is not that advanced in the workflows that we use today.
Right, and these consumer of yours, these clients of yours, are they using AIs to make better decisions, to acquire better property, to make sure that it's a good deal in the end?
I don't think so. I think a lot of our clients are uh,
Legacy.
legacy clients. Yeah, so I think a cell phone is what they use. Most of their communication with us is over emails and phone calls.
Interesting. Yeah, because if I would be a real estate investor, I think I would map out pretty much all the deals. I would feed them to an AI. I would feed picture. I would feed potential problems and have a brain sparing partner to make sure that I'm not acquiring a dump, right? And I would like feed it various metrics and make sure that it would be close to my house, for example. I'm pretty sure there's softwares for that. Like back in my days, I think there was AirDNA
Yeah.
that used to be pretty good for that. Nowadays, what are the options? Like you must be a real estate investor yourself. What do you actually use to buy?
I mean, I think a lot of the investors do just basic Google searches. Zillow and Redfin provide so it's a good avenue to get some market understanding. Outside of that, they are typically working with a realtor. So more than technology, they have this human being who has access to MLS data, which is verified data, and so they can reach out to this individual, the realtor, to get comparables, market rents, etc., anything that they need.
Right. And yeah, tell me about like real estate as an investment vehicle. Like granted there's inflation and all of that. Is it still a good vehicle? Granted also that it's not that cash flow providing as let's say if I would start a SaaS tomorrow. Is it still a good investment? And do you feel that one day soonish the bubble will break if there's like a YC companies that are building houses for very cheap?
I don't think there's a bubble. The reason I'm lending out money is because I do believe that there's value in the real estate that we're lending against. We do believe that 12 months from now, when the loan is maturing, our customers will pay us our principal loan back. So we're very bullish on real estate, to answer your question. All investment opportunities carry risk and potential reward. So, it's about gauging the potential risk and seeing if the return you're getting is comparable. In real estate, the benefit is there's a physical asset backing your investment, right? So if you're buying a property, you actually have a physical property which you can liquidate versus stocks or any other investments where it's non-tangible. And so in that sense, it's a little more secure. If there was a drop as well in real estate, it's limited in terms of how much the prices could fall. Whereas with stocks and other investments, I don't think there's a cap on a floor on how low it could drop.
Right, and you're in the New York area, so have you seen the housing crisis there? I believe in Canada, like we're sort of trying to fix that problem. What's your opinion on that? How would you potentially fix that one?
Sorry, the housing crisis problem?
Yes, correct.
You mean what do you mean by housing crisis problem?
Yeah, people not having places to live because rent is too high. Younger gens also not being able to buy houses because they're too expensive.
Correct. So I think the way we are helping there is where there's a lot of distressed properties out there which no one can live in today because they're not habitable. And so we're providing the capital which allows someone to acquire this property, fix it up, make it ready for someone to either buy or live in. And so that creates a lot of employment opportunities as well. On an average, about 9 or 10 people work on the house, so it creates jobs. It improves the prices for the neighborhood because all the other properties now have a better comparable property which is fixed up. And because it's a newly renovated property, I think it allows for profits for the house flipper to also appreciate. So all in all, it helps with the housing crisis in some way, making more inventory available.
Do you believe in the concept of gentrification?
Absolutely.
So in a good way or in a bad way?
No, I think gentrification is great. That's how you get, neighborhoods turned around, and it just benefits everyone involved, right? Because prices increase for everyone, and they benefit if they've been owning real estate. Even if they're not owning in real estate, the quality of neighborhood goes up, and so the experience, the lifestyle for them improves.
Right. And what do you think of New York as a market, let's say, compared with new trendy places like Austin, for example, or compared with San Francisco, which has huge prices? How do these markets compare?
I think all markets are good, but New York stands out because it's also the financial capital of the world. So there's so much. I think there's just so much opportunity thriving here that it's always going to command a high premium to be in close proximity to that kind of an environment, and so housing prices, would continue to stay where they are or go higher. I feel in the New York area.
Right. And have your business or your client's business been affected by the tariffs?
Not so much. No, not in our space.
Your clients, most of them are they already wealthy, or is that like 80% of your audience, and like the rest are like new real estate investors?
Yeah, so it's a mix of both. We have first-time investors as well that are trying to buy a property the first time for the first time, and then either fix it up or just be a landlord. And then we have seasoned investors who have been doing this for a living. They own a portfolio of 50, 60, 100 properties or more, and they just want to keep adding to it. So it's a mix of the two. But I think there's value in both because every experienced investor was once a first timer as well, right? And so it's great to see the journey that they go through.
And what's next for you? Like you've built that company for 10 years. Will you just continue running it, or do you also like invest in other startups? What's exciting for you nowadays?
Yeah, so I've invested, like I said, in 175 startups because it's great to see the journey of another entrepreneur. And there's only so much time I have to work on a business. So allocating money to someone else and seeing them go through the journey allows me to learn from their experiences. And secondly, I think in terms of me, there's a program at Harvard Business School that I'm currently working on, and so once I graduate from that, I think I'll identify a few more growth opportunities in conjunction with what is going on at InstaLend.
How many have actually panned out? What's your home run rate?
I mean, not too different from the industry average. Like they say, it's about 2 to 5% of your investments that really make it worthwhile for you, and it's no different for me.
Love it. Well, Sohin, thank you so much for your time. Where can people find out more about you?
On our website, it's instalend.com. They can also reach out to me by email. My email is sohin.shah@instalend.com. Happy to type it in the chat here.
Yeah, perfect. That was Sohin Shah and Charles.